There, we got some people in there. Yes. All right, Richard. Hey, Richard. Hey, Dwayne. Mr. Bryce. Hot shot. Hey, there's Eric Vincent. Hey, buddy. I'm just not doing well at this video thing. I've flat screwed it up. So, okay, so what I want to open up with today is just say, hey, we're test driving this thing. You know, for those of you that test driving it with me the other day, that was in the bedroom. I didn't even know I was live. I just absolutely uh, flipped it on and said, "Can you hear me?" And Mila was there, and she was like, "Yeah, I can hear you." And people showed up, so here we are. All right, so questions. Put questions down there, and we'll answer them. Uh, Basically, I wanted to start today just by getting this thing to work mainly and figuring out how much interest we had in me doing this. I wish I could communicate back and forth. I'm not sure how to do that, but you know we'll figure it out or do a Zoom call or something to that effect. So, who's got the first question? Who's got it? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the look. I'm probably going to need it. I'm going to turn down this light a second. Hang on. Nothing like walking off stage. Light's so bright, can't hardly stand it. Okay. All right. So, how's everybody doing? I mean, we out driving? Are we sitting at home watching TV? What are we doing? I took a run yesterday. Went a whole whopping 55 miles, I think. But is it worth getting into without your CDL or being CDL? All right, I, Richard, I just want to tell you something. Non-CDL is a loophole, and slowly but surely they are absolutely crushing that loophole to nothing. I told you, or I told everybody about a year ago that non-CDL was dead, and so what's happened is they have taken all the advantages away of being non-CDL. Used to be you could run up to 28,000 pounds, or I mean 26,000 pounds truck trailer. You could put 10,000, 10, 12,000 pounds on your deck, and you were good to go. And you could make money that way. Well, what they've done, North Carolina, California, Oklahoma, just a ton of states didn't change the law, but changed how they were enforcing the law. North Carolina has come out and said, okay, 26,000 pounds, fine. But if the trailer that you're pulling has a GVWR of over 10,000 pounds, you have to have a CDL. So they're just crushing it down. Connecticut took, there's no advantage there. You have to run, you have to get a Connecticut hut. So uh, by the time you try to jump through all the hoops not to get a CDL, you could have had a CDL. I highly recommend getting a CDL mainly because of the education you'll get by doing it. It will teach you so much. So I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, please follow up with another question. Okay, Dwayne headed to Michigan City for a power only run. Well, good for you, man. I'm going to do a video over the weekend, I believe, and it's going to be 3, 4 things you can keep on your truck to maximize your capabilities of grabbing a load, a profitable load. So stay tuned for that. What else we got, guys? Ask your questions. Again, I wish I could hear you. You could just ask, but all I've got is just the ability to read the comments in the question. Everybody know that it's tax time. I'm getting ready to do a video on that. Tax time is you should be preparing for taxes all year. Now's the time to hey, Mr. Crouch, how are you, sir? Love you, mean it. Hope you had a good day. Um, but you should be preparing for next year's taxes now. You don't prepare for taxes, last year's taxes today. Now you got to start looking ahead. You got to be setting money aside for taxes. Because if you're running, you're going to uh, owe taxes. Maybe not your first year, but if you're running good, you should be making money. Okay, we got a question in. It says, Texas, Ohio, follow you, but I'm a power only. But a lot of the stuff still, absolutely, is still the same. Whether you're running power only or it doesn't matter. Your requirements are still going to be the same. Safety is still, your number one priority out there. Getting legal, getting safe, getting profitable. That's our new thing for 2023. We are absolutely dedicated to make sure everybody that's with us or within our inner circle is profitable this year, if they can be. And when I say if they can be, you can't be profitable sitting around at the house. That's just not how this works. So, yeah, you've got to get out and get running. What kind of questions we got out there, guys? I know we got something. What we got? All right, so we don't have any questions right now. We'll come back to them as soon as we see one. So what's going on with DD214 and Iggy6 this year? Well, we're going to cut a big damn check for taxes. That's for sure. The goals this year is I'm going to lease on, I guess, a total this year, total of 10 to 12. That's my goal. Our average, what we're doing right now, my guys are kicking it. They've been running hard. I'm really proud of all of them. I got a brand new guy starting today out of Texas. So if he fails, it won't be because we wouldn't push him hard. I can guarantee you that. But so Iggy6 is doing well. DD214 is doing well. The last video I talked to you guys about, I said that I was looking at a semi. Well, throughout the years, I've been dealing with this one customer who has now offered me, I gave him great service. So he offered me all his stuff, but it requires me getting a 53-foot flatbed and a semi to make it happen. He's got 45,000 pound stuff that he hauls. And it's like I said in the video, I can't make that happen. I just can't. It's not that I don't have the money to make it happen. It's that I don't have the faith in the economy right now to make that happen. Has anybody out there seen anything going on with the economy that leads them to believe the same thing I'm believing? And I've got a story for you. Somebody's got to talk to me, man. You guys are killing me over here. I can't hardly talk to myself most of the time because then I start answering myself. Shit, I argue with myself half the time. So, all right. So stop laughing at me. Mila's sitting over here laughing at me because I'm sitting here talking to myself, basically. Funny story. If you wasn't around for it the other night, Mila was here. We were camped out in there, and I'm playing with the video thing, trying to figure that out. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an idiot. I'm just I'm like, hey, is it working? And the next thing you know, I hear she had logged on, and I can hear my voice over there. And the next thing you know, guys, there's 28 of you in my bedroom. And I'm like, what the hell? Where'd all these people come from? I did not realize that when I clicked on, go live, that you guys got notified of it. I had no clue, not a clue. Hey, will you do me a favor and change that address over to Facebook? Will you change that for me real quick, please, ma'am? These will get better. I'm just trying to get it all figured out for now. I want to be able to do this where we can all, learn something from each other and make things happen. Eric says, it's getting bad out here. I'm just staying at home with my cats. You got a lot of guys out there right now staying home. And two have called me in the last 2 days that are going out of business. And they're going out of business because they bought equipment and then tried to hire people to run. And guys, I got to tell you right now, I don't do that. I don't do that ever, because I don't believe people treat other people's equipment like you would treat your equipment. And I'm just not all about it. Well, the first story was someone had bought a hot shot, then turned around and bought a semi and put a driver in the semi. Well, the driver decided that, I'm out of here. I'm done with you. He drove the semi to Texas, ratted it out, and left it in Texas. And that is the horror stories I hear all the time. So, before you put somebody in your truck, understand that, one, if it's your truck and trailer, they can leave your truck and trailer along the road, along with the load that's on it, and abandon it and be gone. And that's your problem. If it's your truck and or trailer, or truck or trailer, what they can do is they can abandon. Let's say you leased them a trailer, they can abandon the trailer and the load, and that's your problem, because now you got to go rescue the load, because you can't get your trailer back without getting that load off. So here's how I figured: if you have a load and the guy has his own truck and his own trailer, and that's how we do it here, he takes off with a load on that trailer, that's theft of interstate commerce. You may lose a few bucks in the deal, but you're not going to be put out like I've seen these other people put out. So, don't, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't do it, wouldn't do it. It's just, look, if you got a CDL driver willing to drive your truck, there's a problem with that driver, because that driver should absolutely be working. There's no reason for a CDL driver not to be working anyway. Okay, so we got Nova. Boom, boom. Hey, thank you. Thank you for your question. What do I need to get a CDL for hot shot? Well, you need to go to school. Okay, you have to go to school. If you didn't have your permit before February 7th of last year, you have to go to school. So you're going to have to do that. If you are military, you can get the VA to pay for that school, most likely. If you're honorably discharged, you can probably get the VA to pay for that school. So now, I'm working a deal with this company right here in Indian Trail. I went over and spoke with them the other day to work a deal where you can either upgrade your CDL, meaning if you take your CDL road test in your pickup and a trailer, then you're going to have a restriction on there for semis. It'll say you got a CDL but no semis. But I talked to them because I see this coming, and they're willing to loan you the tractor and the trailer to do the CDL test for $600. So I thought that was pretty good, just to upgrade. But what do you need to get? You're going to have a vehicle to take the test. You're going to need to go to the class, and going to have to get your CDL, your medical. What do I need to get? What do I need to get a CDL for hot shot? Same thing you need to do to get a CDL for anything. You have to go to school. So do that. I highly recommend it. Get it done, get it out of the way, and then you don't have to jump through hoops trying to figure out how to run in the country right now with all these garbage going on. Okay, hope that answered your question. If it didn't, please follow up. Who we got going on here? Okay, so while we're waiting on the next question, let's talk about guys that are now successful. This is what I want to talk to you about. Once you're successful and you have everything you need to, basically you have the knowledge to be successful running your one truck. You've made it a year, that's one. You got through your safety audit. You've got a good, a good plan. What you need to do at that point, guys, is you need to go wide. You've got to start expanding your business, because if you're not going wide, as soon as you stop working, your business is done. So part of this mentorship program over on what's the name of that thing? The page? Patreon site. Thank you. Over there is to try to help those, number one, get started, and then number two, to teach them to go wide. And let me just tell you, I didn't think I was ever going to go wide, but when they changed the rules up last June where I couldn't subcontract, then I didn't have a choice. I had to go wide. So that's that. When do you guys think, or do you think, or if you have a comment on it, when you're looking around out there today, if you don't see it, I see it every day, is trailers are just people are just falling out of the business. And I said it on that one video, why hot shotters are dropping like flies is they got in the business the wrong way for the wrong reasons. And it's so important to get into it the right way, so that, and it affects everybody. If Billy Joe Bob gets into business as and is completely upside down on everything, and he's forced to run cheap freight, all that does is drive the freight rates down for everybody else. So, it's cheaper for me to try to school a few people and hopefully get them through it so that they do not come in this thing the wrong way, and they aren't out there being part of the problem. And until we all get together and realize that if we're not pushing the freight rates up, then they're going to drive them down. The other thing I'm seeing, just so you understand one thing, guys, the one thing I'm seeing now is a ton of people that failed at hot shot. Ton. I don't know what that says. I'll have to read that in a second. So a ton of these people have now went out and got broker's license. Couldn't make it in the hotshot world. So they said that their thought process is that, oh, well, all the money's in the brokerage. Well, no, it's not. And you have to realize what they're doing to us now. All those people that jumped into the brokerage end of it is doing what? Well, the same thing they did to us. They are now flooding the market with what they think the rates should be, and it's driving the rates down. Again, the rates are going to go down because these people are out there, and to make a living, they have to pour out the rates. They're going to go to these customers and say, oh, I can get it done for this, and then put it on the board. And we're going to have to suffer as they stumble, fall, and fail. It's hurting everybody. I see it every day. I had a guy post a load the other day that I called on, and it said it was 500 miles, and it was for such, I don't remember what it was, but the 500 miles he posted it for, you had to go through Canada. Otherwise, it was 800 miles. MC was like, the MC for this brokerage was like, I don't know, 2-3 months old. That guy had no clue what he was doing. And he was just out there trying to pour out the freight, basically. Okay, so we got a question. It says, unfavorable gamer. This is who the question's by. It says, okay, I've heard folks say that your business, home, and storage address for truck trailer should be different for insurance reasons. Can you elaborate on that? I cannot. I have no idea what you're talking about. You might want to, if anybody has anything on that, I'll read it again, but I have no clue. It says, okay, I have heard folks say that your business, home, and storage address for your truck and trailer should be different for insurance reasons. Can you elaborate on that? I cannot. Again, I have no idea, sir. Sorry, but I wouldn't know why that would. I don't know why that would matter. Now, I think Alex said something about it. Well, I don't know. Alex isn't on here to say anything, so I really don't know. I mean, I can look it up, try to find out, and get back to you on the next live. Can you copy that down and see if we can look that up and find out why that would be? I'll call the insurance broker. Hey, one thing, guys, speaking of Alex, you guys, the same thing almost happened to me, except that I was on top of the game. As we were coming up on renewals this year, I kept watching. I was leasing people on, okay? At about mid-year, I started the lease on process. And as I was leasing on, I would get a new statement update. And I looked at it. By the end of the year, for myself and 4 drivers, that's it, myself and 4 drivers, Progressive had come out with $111,000 estimate. For me, it made no sense whatsoever. They couldn't tell me why it was like that. They said that's just what their algorithm does. Well, I investigated a little more and found out that Progressive has this algorithm where they know exactly if you have so many trucks and you drive so many miles that within that span, you are going to have an accident. Okay, they've got this figured out. So what they do is my first year, it was basically the same. My second year, basically the same. Third year, it went through the roof. So basically, all they were trying to do was get me out of the bid or get me out of their portfolio because I'm coming up on that said, that said number. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not with Progressive anymore. You guys can reach out to me over on the other site and we will talk about who I'm with. But I went from $111,000. Okay, think about it. 111,000 for 5 drivers to 67,000 with 5 drivers. So that's a big difference, guys. And that difference goes straight to everybody's bottom line. Okay, so I wish I had an answer for you on that. I just don't. What we got? We'll give it a couple more minutes and see if anybody else has got a question. If no, we'll wrap it up and call tonight. Call this one done. I got to figure out what the gig is with the go live thing. I just want to have to research it. If it's not strapped to a flatbed, I really don't know what the gig is. So, questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay, guys. Thank everybody for showing up. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. You guys, I appreciate you being here. If you need anything, we're going to try to do this on a Wednesday. Okay, can't do it, but maybe once a week, every Wednesday, and about this time, and just see how it flows. And get your questions ready, and we'll answer them. We'll answer them at that point. Unfavorable gamer, just so you know, if you come back next week, I'm going to have an answer for that. Okay. So, all right, guys, I'm out. We'll talk to you later. It's Bryan with DD214. Have a great evening.